United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right, roll call.
I'm here.
Trustee Sewell.
He left.
Stewart.
Here.
Gunther.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Here.
And Trustee Ball is absent.
Okay. And anybody with public comments? Seeing none?
Everybody says something.
But do you have one? You good? You can if you want.
Me to, I mean, I can think of something to say.
No, okay,
I
all
don't
right.
want you to.
All right, so next item is the consent agenda, items A through F. It includes the minutes, the decennial committee meeting minutes, the township assessors report, the township highway commissioners report, the clerk's report, and the supervisor's report.
Since the decennial committee is done, I felt, well, we're really the only ones that can approve the minutes from the last meeting, so I stuck them in there.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. I motion that we move, that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay. Any seconds?
I second.
Okay. Roll call?
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Gunther.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yeah.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. All right, approval of bills?
All right, first thing, under general assistance, we had expenditures for the month of $1,536.03.
I motion to approve it.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, roll call?
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yeah.
Stewart.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Under road and bridge, the expenditures for the month were $144,652.79.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, no questions, roll call?
Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Gunther.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
There were no expenditures in the road and bridge equipment fund. Next would be the town fund. In the town fund, the expenditures for the month were $206,702.91.
And just so everybody knows, that's that solar. That was at 40% that we paid towards that, so now we're 50% paid.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
I motion we approve the town fund expenditures.
And I second.
Okay, no questions, roll call?
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Gunther.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yeah.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
And finally, in the senior center fund, we had expenditures of $4,503.95.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call?
Trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. All right, thanks, Jim. So we got our reports, got our highway commissioner here on our anniversary. Thanks for being here, Kathy.
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary.
Luckiest man in the world, that's what I
That's
tell you.
right.
Remind him every day.
I remind him every day. Anyway, we are very busy, as always. We just got done, it's been a few weeks, but we paved North Shore and got that totally redone. Looks really nice. I mean, that road was just more like an alley, and we widened it a little bit and made a nice turnaround for us, you know, and snow plowing that in the back. So, next is, we're moving to South Shore. Originally I wanted to start there first, but because that has drainage issues and some other things going on there where we're gonna widen the road, we had to have that engineered. We engineered the other one ourselves. So I had to wait for the engineering, which, you know, didn't come till really late in the summer. So, we will be starting on that. We're not gonna complete it this year, it's too late. But we're gonna get trees down and other things that we need to do out there and get started. Besides that, we're still cutting grass. We're trying to get that finalized. That'll be probably a few weeks. Then we'll be on to leaf vacuuming here not in too long. You know, we wait really till the leaves are really falling though before we start that. Otherwise you're not getting much at certain places, and then when you go back, it's a lot. So, we'll be starting that soon. Beyond that, we've had a few trees down with, some of the storms that have come through in the rains. A couple of them have been late at night, you know, 11:30 or so at night. I have to call them out, but, you know, I'm thankful it's just that I could be in Florida right now, so, you know, ours is nothing compared to that, so. But, anyway, beyond that, we're just, like I said, super busy, but if you get a chance to drive out on North Shore, you know, the residents that live there, I talked to them and they're very appreciative that it was done. Because it's kind of one of those roads where there's not a lot of houses, but it was starting to fall apart. And so we needed to do something with it, and it looks really good, so.
Yeah, that adds value to any houses out there.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
Well, it's
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to carry the message too about, it helps us to be able to have a place to turn around. I
Right,
mean, it makes
oh,
it
yeah.
easier for us.
Yeah, we did we did a turnaround at the end of Iran. The people that live there, they had a big culvert and it's just out of our jurisdiction, that they had to replace it, so they did that themselves. But we turn around there all the time for snow plowing and stuff, so we helped them out with, doing the cul-de-sac there, because we need the turnaround. It's a hill, you go down a big hill, you can't back up the hill. So, you know, we helped them out there, but, so anyway, you know, there's certain situations, we're gonna try to get the cul-de-sac a little bit bigger on Deerfield Lane too, cause we turn around there. We tried to at a couple other areas, but people wouldn't give us any easement to do it, so it just makes it easier for the guys if they can turn around than have to back up, and that's when they end up getting stuck.
Those roads will last.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, and you can't see out there, there's not, you know, especially
those street
out like in
lights.
Lebanon and
Yeah.
Mulberry and all that, there's lights are few and far between, so. But anyway, so yeah, we're busy, we are always busy, so I always say that's good for
Absolutely.
workers, so, but, nothing more happening at the moment. Was the decennial report sent to the
So,
county?
and I'm so upset about that, cause I have it in my office, I wanted, and I had one for you, I had them professionally bound.
Okay.
And they're so nice looking.
Right.
It looks like a real book, and so Jim's gonna drop them off up there.
Okay.
I wanted to I was gonna go do it, and then I was like, what do we gotta do exactly, and I'm like, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe we'll
I
have
thought the
Jim.
clerk was the one that was
Right.
supposed to anyway.
So, but I'll get you, I have a copy for each
Okay,
department.
sounds good. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, assessor filed his, trustees?
Tell her she's dismissed. Get out of here.
We're
Oh,
on.
we are, yeah.
Okay,
No?
good, okay. Senior Center, I'll read Gabby's report. CSC served 1,377 meals in the month of September. We also went on a huge bus trip with 80 seniors that required 2 buses to Savannah. This was the first time that we had tried this, and I'm confident in saying that they're very happy with the trip. Even though our last excursion was cut short because of the weather, we held a big after party for all of them, and they all really want to do this again. So it's almost like we're going to have to figure out how to bring the number down, because there's so many people now that we're very happy. The best thing about this trip is it got dozens of new faces into the CSC. Now those people are coming more and telling even more friends. We have a huge Halloween party scheduled, plus 4 big trips this month in the Volkswagen. On top of that, Faith in Action and St. John's Community Care are both using the bus this month. And then just to add, a thing that I'm happy about, and you might not know unless you're here on the days that it happens, but is our activities we have in there with the shuffleboard, the pool, the skee ball. We now do like blind Scotch doubles tournaments, and so what that does is it connects them. You're meeting somebody that you've never maybe talked to before, and people are just all of a sudden creating friendships, and it's really good to see. And that's one thing that has done, is the activities, and that goes for crafts and things like that too. That's the big thing. The lunch kind of gets them in, the activities really connects them all. So everything is going very good here at the CSC. Okay, clerk?
Nothing for me.
Okay, all right. Old business. Update on the solar project. I put a sheet there on everybody's, in front of you guys. Let me find mine. There's that. Maybe I can read off of somebody else's. Let's see.
What do you need, Eric's thing?
Yeah, Eric's. All right, thank you. I stay in contact with Eric once a week. But just to recap, it says, thank you for your time and attention. The significant updates include permitting approval from the City of Collinsville and updates provided by Ameren and Illinois Solar for All. This means the submissions are actively being reviewed. Today, being October the 8th, I'm satisfied with the project's progression. Below are specific milestones, details by project. We will send updates as project milestones are completed. But on the office, it's already submitted to Illinois Solar for All. It's pending approval. When part 1 is approved, we'll discuss scheduling the installation. We expect this project to be installed first because it got in there a little bit before this one did. And the way he says, and again, who knows if hurricane or anything, but the way he says, he's not worried about getting the panels and the installation. He says that's the easy part. It's all the approvals and stuff to get our money back is the big one. On the senior center, it's still with Ameren, but they gave us a date of 10/10. That's not guaranteed. It could be sooner or later. Well, it's not gonna be much sooner unless it's tomorrow. So I'm hoping that it's this week.
And I'm guessing there are no risks affected by that, because he didn't outline anything. So if
No.
Ameren doesn't come back by the 10th, they can come back the 11th or the 12th. We're still not under any.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's
And
the way
so,
I understand it.
right, that's the way I understand it too, but just so everybody knows here, I'm not gonna pay that, because on the outline, it has payment of the last bid coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna wait until we get approval, because that's part of the deal. So,
I think that was discussed anyway.
yeah, it was, right. And so once that goes, it goes to Illinois Solar for All. And then, but I talked to him on the phone. This was the paper that I have him do for the board. But he acts like, he goes, Derek, I have like 3 weeks built in there of cushion. He goes, we're fine. So that's the update. So if anybody has any questions or whatever, just reach out. And I'll let you know too when this goes. I'll let each of you know when it goes to Illinois Solar for All. Any other questions? Okay. All right, no new business. My comments, I just have a couple. LIHEAP has begun. The first week or 2 weeks were really chaotic.
It was busy.
Right, very busy. And it's crazy, I can't figure out why, but a lot of townships are sending their business to us, which is kind of unfair. And so I've been in there, and you can't totally deny them, but I don't know why others aren't pulling their weight, but they have to get in line just like everybody else. I know everybody feels like they have a special circumstance, but that's just the way it is. And so I recorded a voicemail system. It seems like it's working very well, where they don't talk to us in the office. They leave a message with their information, and then when we have time, we schedule. And usually it's always within 24 hours, because there is a day off there that then Lori and Tara can call and make the schedule for the upcoming. And so we're almost all the way through October already.
Are we overwhelmed or getting through it?
No, we're getting, it's the first week, and they changed a few things about the system this year. They've added a few more guidelines that they're looking for, but when the people come in to help fill out the paperwork, it takes about 15 minutes, and they have to bring all the material. Well, then the other problem is, then they don't show up. Okay, how many times do they not show up? And you can't just completely deny them, but the policy that I put in place, because it's not fair to our staff or to anybody else taking somebody else's time, you get back in line. You have to call and reschedule and get back in line. And
Just like the doctor's office.
right,
You miss an appointment,
you
you're
miss
not
your
gonna get
appointment, you get back in line, and if it was that important to you, you'd have your stuff and you'd be there. So anyway, they're doing a really good job with that. We received another page of audit questions. It was all about IMRF, and then they came in last week, and they couldn't, so IMRF's website, I guess, changed 3-4 months ago. Anyway, it's been chaotic. Even the auditor said that it was, and it's not very easy to deal with. They're asking for more information to be put in, things like that. But they got the answers that they needed. I asked Chris and Kevin, who's in charge of it. They filed an extension because it was due on the 31st. They said, don't worry about it, and they assured me we would have it by next meeting. But they filed the extension. I don't know why it's taking so long, because we got it to them, all their stuff in early June. So it happened last year as well. Let's see, I signed, this here was kind of interesting. I had, with my meeting with city manager Derek Jackson, he says they're making some good progress on these apartments. And we've had code enforcement in there, they've had code enforcement in there, police, and so I think they've got the owner, hopefully.
Across the street here you're
yes,
talking about? I was
yes.
just gonna mention that, cause there was a
It's-
guy had the rear end out of a truck was laying down.
I know, it got way bad earlier this week, okay, and so, that's where I'm getting to, so.
Our property, yeah.
They're cracking down on them, I guess they own some property down in Johnson Hill Road, well, now they're moving all their junkers up to this lot. And so Derek gave me a heads up, so I've been in touch with B&K Towing, and the way it works, they didn't even wanna do it at all. They
Being gated.
no, because they said, listen, first of all, we're on the hook to pay, okay? And he still hasn't given me a firm price, cause he just don't wanna do it. Cause he goes, my junkyard is full, because these people never pick up their cars.
Yeah.
They're not going to, they're not even worth it, you know?
Right.
And then I gotta find the title and stuff, and so
Can
I
we
said,
change it off?
well, I mean, so here's what I did, is I said, can you go slap him with a sticker? Let's see if that works, okay? It did. It worked for about 4 of the junkers, all right? But there's one left, and I know who it is. So he's texting me, and he's kind of mad at me, and I said, listen, it's not me, this is not the lot, and if you're living there and it's an okay car, but this one's got a flat tire on it, you're gonna need, and so I see the car up on Jack's, and he's trying to change the tire, because he thinks it's gonna get towed. My point is, I just don't think there's an easy answer right now. I just don't. I mean, because if you chain it off, to your point, those people that live there still gonna have to park somewhere.
Right.
And then they're gonna park in front of our good spots. And so then that makes it harder for our seniors. And so if there's just a few cars over there that are drivable and they look okay,
My only question is,
Yeah.
what's the extent of our liability?
right,
My only question.
right, and
What are we
insurance,
on the hook for?
right, and my biggest thing is,
Because if we don't take specific actions to prevent things,
Yeah,
are we enabling that?
We have to take the action and document it, and then that is the best we could probably do. Now, if there's a rear end laying out there,
Yeah, it's right out of the back of the truck.
yeah, they can't leave that on our property, and somebody falls over that and gets hurt.
do you have any suggestions
We
what
can't
we
say
should
we
do?
didn't-
I mean, it's technically their property at this point. They've commandeered that property.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's been
Right,
going
yeah,
on for
right.
a long, long time. And they just don't understand, they got a barbecue grill out there,
It's
and
their
every
patio.
month I go and try it, and then they just, right, I mean, and but it's never gonna change until you change those apartments. I mean, or we sell it, but it's gonna be the same way if we sell it, we'll have to look at it.
Well, but we're not gonna be liable for it if we show.
Right, so, I just don't think there's an easy answer, we're trying to work with the city, and that's why I just wanna let you guys know, it's just a constant battle, but he says they're making progress. They have over $100,000 in fines right now on that property.
Wow.
Right, and so they're trying to get it to where they just say, hey, we're washing our hands of it, they wanna basically condemn it, and then, I've heard that they were talking about maybe making it a veterans housing facility, but fixing it up, so there's some plans out there. Lastly, I signed the township up again for the Fall Festival and Chili Cook-Off. We got in first place either at our booth or the chili the last 3 years in a row. It's held on Main Street, October the 26th, from 10 to 3, and requesting any volunteers that might want to help in the booth. I think it's one of the best events that Collinsville does because it's very family oriented with kids and just families up and down Main, and if the weather's good, it's well attended too. So anyway,
I'm not looking off either.
I think we're gonna figure out between you're gonna do chili again? Okay, just put some brown sugar in it. I like mine sweet. No, I'll let him
Brown
do his
sugar?
chili, right.
Okay.
Right, no, but, anyway,
Brown sugar.
and we're figuring out the theme and stuff, so, anyway, October the 26th, if
got
you guys
sign
are
up
around.
for it?
I have a sign-up sheet up here, but just let me know. Okay, awesome. All right,
You're in.
right, does anybody else have any concerns, questions? Nothing else? Motion to adjourn?
I motion we adjourn.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.